Well, this was unexpected so soon. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at a big update for Stranded: Alien Dawn, adding all new biomes, creatures, survivors, and more things to build with. It almost seems like a whole new game based on the Stranded Alien Dawn series, but again, remember, this game is in early access for a survival base builder which this world reminds me a lot of Icarus for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it just reminds me of the desert regions of that. I see dinosaurs, I see all sorts of new plants and locations and resources, but some of the same ones that we've seen previously. So welcome again. Good to see you all here for our first look then at a brand new update known as Moons and Dunes. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell, too, for giveaways and also more live streams of Stranded Alien Dawn. This game seems really cool and is making some great improvements. And, well, for a game that kind of reminds me of a 3D RIMWORLD with a lot of great electricity management and survivor management, it's doing a fantastic job of, well, delivering on what we had hoped it would be once we saw more gameplay footage and becoming even better. So without further ado, we're going to start ourselves a new game in the new regions and see what else it has to offer. So same scenarios as before, crash landing, where we basically just crash on the planet. Our goal is to find other survivors and eventually call for a beacon to be extracted from the planet as well. We have new regions, the Sobrius, that's the one we were on before, but now we have Desertum, which is hot deserts dominated by dunes, oases, and dry riverbeds. Oh, look at this. We've also got different moons, too, of Jason, Nyx, and Chaos. Interesting. So it looks like we've got, yeah, our desert moon here of Chaos, or at least maybe moons in the background that will provide us with different types of events, maybe? It looks like it is. Jason sends tough challenges. Nyx is the goddess of night. And in the beginning there was Chaos, and everything will be Chaos. So it looks like these might be some sort of modifiers for events or whatnot. Let's go with the well, let's go with Chaos. That sounds good. And then we'll just leave our game difficulty to medium, and we'll start our survival series here. Beautiful landscapes in the background too, by the way. One thing I do like about this game is it almost looks like a first-person game with all the landscapes and great detail. But of course, it's a top-down survival base builder. All right, let's begin. Now, another thing that stood out about this game was that the number of survivors that we could start with is up to 4. We can get more than 4 survivors, too. I think I've had up to 6 or 8 before, and all of them are different in terms of their, well, they're actually handcrafted, not randomly generated by the game, so the developers have made it so that way some of these characters have relationships with each other. As you can see, some of them are sons and daughters, husbands and wives, or grandchildren of different characters, and they all bring different things to the table, both like intellectually, or maybe they're a doctor, good at combat, that kind of thing, or construction. And yeah, they might have different reasons to maybe have different health problems or whatnot that you'll have to be mindful of, but they could really help you with something like combat or research, building, farming, for example. So all these are interconnected with a backstory too that have different traits in addition to their skills on the right side, and a little bit of a background, like for example a journalist or a maid, a farmer, or just somebody who's like a guru or a deity or whatnot. So all right, we're gonna go with these 4 characters, and there is a new one added here as well, so we'll see how they all interact with each other and who we find on our mission. Let's go. Well, quite the intro, but there's the crash landing we expected. Oh, and here comes some more debris crashing down around us too. We'll stay put for a minute while it continues to fall. So essentially, whatever ship we were on gets destroyed, and pieces of it start falling around us. And this, of course, is our escape pod, or a landing pod, which of course we can get materials from too. But yeah, all these pieces will continue to fall over time, so it's a way to get metal before we can start mining, that type of thing. The landscape looks really good. New plants, it looks like, maybe? Succulent plants are here. So it looks like different biomes will provide different resources that we haven't seen before, but some things are familiar too. It looks like we have some cactuses there that could provide water for us. Wow, a gorgeous tree here too. I'm not going to cut that down at all, but that's going to be the challenge of this map, is that there's not really a lot of wood, but there could be a lot more, well, other sources of things like food. These guys look like camels here. Very cool looking, like part camel, part horse. And it looks like, yeah, there's a lot of spaceship parts around. The map is gargantuan, by the way. One of the biggest things about this game is that you can almost settle anywhere, but it'll take you time to move there. Gorgeous canyons, too. I believe this is all randomly generated each time you start. Some more familiar plants here, such as the, what's it called, the leather skin plants as well. We can go analyze those and then eventually find out how we can use it, whether it's a food or a building material. Wow, look at that, man. Look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. I want to go build down here. Now, one thing I don't think I've seen in the game so far is anything to do on the water. So I don't think there's any sort of way to fish or build boats or whatnot to transport items back and forth. But that is just absolutely stunning. Really well done. And a lot of diversity to the rocks and to the erosion on the landscape there. Really looking impressive. Archways, different types of sand too. That kind of reminds me of Planet Crafter. If you've played that game before, you kind of have more of a rocky, dry soil. And here we have more sandy soil and giant canyons and little oases, as they mentioned. And also, yeah, some fun little friends over here. The what are these guys called again? Yeah, the spike-tailed insects, otherwise known as, I think, the I forgot. Damn, spitters or something. I don't know. They're bad. They remind me a lot of the hydralisks or something from Star. Crafts. So let's go ahead and jump back to our people. Here we are at the very top of the desert. We're in the high desert then. High and dry, I suppose, which is not good nor bad, but I would really love to start our settlement further away, but that's something we could build towards in the future. Oh yeah, some bad boys over here too. Those nests will spread. Alright, let's get started then. Okay, well, we first things first need to start kind of figuring out where we're going to set up our camp. So we'll go ahead and start by building a shelter of scrap metal, and we'll see if we can salvage some metal around us. Some of these pieces will do. We can get our people to do that. We'll put 2 of these back to back. Love this landscape. This is a great spot to initially start in. And we'll build a shelter here too for sleeping. We're going to kind of have 2 detached sleeping areas. Really, one's going to be for storage and one's going to be for sleeping. So we started with 4 people. We'll eventually probably build more than that. You know, first things first, sleeping quarters are going to kind of suck for a while, but I mean, it's the best we can do considering the situation. Go ahead and put 4 beds there. Our people already have started to gather materials from the crash site. Some things have fallen out of our escape pod and or out of these little pieces here. Sometimes they can grab debris. I love where our crash site is. That's really cool, like right in front of a water source. Lucky us. Almost went into it, too. Alright, let's go ahead and put down some storage for our people as well. This game's got a really great amount of different items to build, and I really thoroughly want to play this game a lot more. And not until you guys told me recently during one of our live streams that this was updated that I even knew about it, because it's just a game that's kind of developing fast. And I didn't think it would be this fast either, so good to see. But anyway, let's go ahead and start building our structures, and then we'll start assigning jobs too. And, oh boy, what do we got here? Oh, we got a weapon, a laser pistol, nice. We'll have to see who can be the best one to take that on. Alright, let's go ahead and have everybody do... Well, let's do some sleeping. Mandatory sleep time here. Up until maybe like 6 a.m. or so. Then we'll do an anything time, a little free time. Actually, we'll make a little mandatory relaxation time before and after. And everything else will be work time. Let's see, we gave them 3, 6, 7, 8 hours. Let's go ahead and do a bump that back a little bit. Actually, you know, it's going to be quite busy here, so we should make sure we get a little bit more sleep, but also hardcore on that work for now. Alright, now let's go ahead and manage activities. So everybody, I guess, can try to construct if they can. That's going to be our first task, is just go ahead and start building whatever you can, if you can, and also salvage. So building and salvage are going to be our first major tasks. Looks like everything that was required there has been taken apart. Let's go ahead and scavenge some of these sites. They're very close to us, so we'll start with metal. And because we have a lack of wood without being in the forest, we're going to have to be basically taking from these crash sites the most until we find some sort of alternative source for material. And looks like there are a little bit of trees here, some sort of a dry tree. This could be a nut or a fruit that we could use. And there's something moving over there too. We've seen that creature before. Some new creatures, but creatures that roam the whole planet too, or multiple planets. So that's cool. Continue scavenging if we can. Wow, there's already fires going on too. I don't think I've ever seen fire spread in this game, but we're going to make sure we salvage all this nearby debris right away. So we got Nova and Ken doing some salvaging, and it looks like Carter is kind of just chilling too. Is he in bed? He could be wounded. Nope. He's just chilling too. So let's find out what our people are best skilled at. For the start, it's always a good idea just to build and salvage and organize. People really can't use their skills until a little bit later. For example, Daniel here can't really do research until we've built a research desk, so that is something that we could start with. So let's go ahead and delete this shelf here, and we'll start with the research then. Alright, let's go ahead and ask them to cancel that. Love the shelf building in this game too. I love how some of these things work, including defenses. Of course, we can build traps and fences, and then eventually walls and automated turrets. We can build lasers and missile launchers and machine guns. Oh, drying racks for food. Yes, it's all coming back to me. I love it in a game when you can play it briefly and love it, and then come back and be like, oh, that's right. You know, it's been a little bit since you played, but everything starts smacking back into your mind, and you kind of remember everything all over again. Very satisfying. Go ahead and build 2 drying racks here for food and whatnot. We can also dry materials there too. I believe that leather skin plant can actually be used that way too. Go ahead and have a few more things observed here. This seems to be some sort of a weird looking part tree, part plant. It's like almost aloe vera meets like a, I don't know, pine tree or something. Interesting. We got rocks here made of stone. I do like how not everything has to be analyzed. Some things are obvious, but on occasion we will find ore inside of these rocks. Things like quartz can be found, or silicon can be found inside of rocks, and then you can also find plants that also have it too, that you can of course refine to use later on. Oh, we've got mushrooms here. Excellent. I believe these can be used for food or medicine, so we can start picking those and then eventually start harvesting them too. Broadleaf plants. I'm definitely going to keep that tree. Alright, so first things first then, research, salvage, and explore the environment around us. Now right now we're in the dry season, so the big challenge in the other maps is that, of course, it's summer, fall, winter, and then spring again, so we really got to save materials for the cold. But here, it could just be maybe more of a monsoon season, so perhaps there's a risk of flooding or more, I don't know, creatures that migrate through, other types of dangers. It looks like in the trailer for this, there could be large packs of what appears to be like raptors, you know? So we might have to defend against wild animals that migrate through and or come looking for food. Go ahead and take a look at that humped animal too. Boy, I wonder what that could be. And a rounded cactus there. Excellent. Great music, great vibes, great day-night cycle, great weather effects. Game's really got a lot more immersion to it and little extra things than I could ever imagine at the start. When we first saw the trailer for this game too, everybody was imagining like a space Conan. Like it looked like Conan Exiles, but based in space. And when it turned out to be a top-down game, everybody was like, what the hell is that? What? And it kind of looked to be more like, you know, games like Surviving the Aftermath or Endzone: A World Apart. And then, well, people realized it was kind of more like a 3D RimWorld, and also had some different things to it that made it a little bit more challenging and unique in that way. Not as customizable as I would like, but again, this is an early access game too, so the ability to go to different areas and have completely different things to build with is very refreshing. And I would like to at least eventually be able to make my own characters at some point, but at least our people are tucked in and ready for bed now. Alright, cool. So Nova, Carter, Ken, and Daniel are all sleeping. And at least we made beds for day one. No shelter yet, but they are working on building some of these things. There is actually a big plus to this game, too, is the ability to build homes that have decent-looking roofs. And the interior of this game eventually will look like Icarus, if you've ever seen that survival game. Or really like The Sims. It's crazy cool how cool your houses can look. Like, they really look nice. At a certain point, it's like, why even leave the planet? Because things are so gorgeous here. It's a really impressive place, I've got to say. All right, everybody's celebrating and giving good mornings to everyone. Excellent. Oh, we can scavenge the landing pod too. I believe there might be materials in that as well. But everybody's getting built now. Check that out. Very nice. Take a look at our materials. Take a look at our rooms, to which we've just got some scrap metal shacks going on. But at least they're protected from the elements. Okay, we can start some research now, too. Let's go ahead and start on research. Let's do metal refinement first. And then maybe spaceship deconstruction, so we can salvage more materials. And then we'll start researching tailoring next, to which some of the plants might be able to provide us with fiber, and so we could either make clothing out of that or perhaps ropes and things like that for building material. New stuff in this game, so we're going to just kind of teach ourselves by thinking that this is kind of our first playthrough a little bit. Oh, it looks like Daniel's got the pacifist symbol next to him. I don't think he can participate in combat at all. We'll see about that. Carter's also having a little meal. We've got some pre-made meals ready to go. We can make a campfire once we've gotten some stone and some wood, so let's go ahead and make that a task as well. We're observing some of these trees here. Really don't want to cut them down, though. Huge desert tree. I don't know if that's associated with this one. Well, let's go ahead and cut down at least one tree. Hate to do it, but we gotta. I don't know why we just don't cook our food over this chemical-laden flame, but, you know, kind of silly that we just don't cook it over open chemical fires. But, alright, I guess. I think one thing you could do is actually prepare these emergency rations, and it'll give them some sort of a morale boost, or at least lower the amount of morale that's decreased by how much time has passed by eating some bland food. They don't really necessarily like that. Alright, more people are sleeping. Looks like Ken is finishing up with the scavenging. I remember playing with Ken before, where he is really the type of character who I think is also very good at hunting. So he almost never sleeps when it comes to hunting and for salvaging. So he's the type of guy to go out and get started early and then start bringing in food. He's one of the characters you'll use the most in order to start building your base, and then once it's built, then he can start feeding everyone. But, of course, he's got some of his problems, too. Okay, what can we do next? Oh, yeah, another great thing to manage in this game, too, is heat and light. So I would imagine perhaps there could be a super hot season on this planet. Maybe it was where we're closer to the sun. And so maybe cooling will be an important thing. This game does require us to build heaters to keep warm, lighting to provide light inside of homes, and also air conditioning. So we can build things like fans, at least, to keep air flowing through rooms, and air filtration or ventilation through vents. And then, of course, we can also build areas to heat things like fireplaces and whatnot. So, oh, and that's comforting. We can also build a grave. How wonderful. I'm sure we'll need one at some point. Alright, a storage chest. We should build one of those. Maybe we can build those outside. We might need some wood for that, so we'll start with that. Just one. And just like in RimWorld, people prefer not to sit too long without a chair, or rather stand for their meals, so let's build one there. And hopefully we'll find enough wood to make all these things. These are all just kind of placeholders. Let's just see what we can build and how long it takes. Could build some stuff out of stone. Let's do that instead. Might be a wiser decision. It looked like the storage box had to be made out of the wood there, but let's go ahead and go with some chairs. It looks like it auto-selected a stone chair for us. That was kind of cool. Okay, cool. And we'll ask our people to continue to mine stone, since there's quite a bit nearby. Very nice. Oh, aggressive animals are already attacking the camp. Oh, boy. Oh, they are close by. Indeed they are. Well, let's go ahead and give Ken a weapon. He's pretty good at combat. I believe he's at, yeah, 6 combat there. So let's go ahead and give Ken a weapon, which should be... I'm actually not sure where our weapons are. Looks like we actually found 2 laser pistols from the wrecks there. I think that's a laser pistol right there. There should be a way to weapon him up. How do we do that? Let's see here real quick. Ah, there we are. So we'll give Ken a laser pistol. And who else? Who else has good combat? Restrictions, profile, here we are, skills. Combat is 2. 6 and 6. Oh, good. Nova's also very good at combat. We'll go ahead and give her a gun, too. Now, eventually we can do close-range weaponry, too, so we don't just have to have pistols. We can also have spears and, like, plasma spears, or we can have rifles, and I think sniper rifles, too. And then, of course, eventually make automated defenses, which will be great. 2 of our people are unarmed, but this early, we're just going to rely on our shooters to shoot. And that also equals meat for us. Those creatures may come over and will sacrifice themselves to provide us with juicy, tasty meat. Not seeing any sort of trees here. I love the look of this landscape. I really wish this were first person in many ways, too. Fantastic looking. Oh, these give us sticks, so this actually could be good for... Go ahead and cut those, all of them. We can continuously make fire. Alright, the boys are coming in. We're under attack. Looks like the horde is coming. We're under attack. Red alert. Sound the alarm. Enemy forces inbound. Boy, imagine mods for this to make it look like Arrakis from Dune, or perhaps... maybe like the arachnids from Starship Troopers and have a different planet type there for it. Be kind of cool to actually, you know, have Big K, Klendathu, be a mod in this game as well. Alright, let's go ahead and get Ken. Get him up, and Nova. And get them ready to go. They're going to have to hold the line. Open up on him, bro. Wait, just a knife. Bro, where's your pistol? Ken, get that pistol. Go, Ken. We're being overwhelmed. Hold the line. Get him, Ken. Alright, knife for close range. Run, Carter, run. Actually, run back, Carter. Run back. We'll cover you. We'll get him off your back. Alright, use that laser pistol. Now, one of the great things about these laser pistols is these creatures we just defeated are relatively easy. We do need a little band-aid here and there, but if we build a wall eventually, which ours will probably have to be out of stone, we can then... actually, we could probably wall off here. I don't think they'll even try to pass through the water, so we could build like a wall and kind of leave some of this area open for the time being, but have an elevated position where our people will be able to snipe and shoot them from. Another question now is for farming. We'll have to find, well, relatively fertile land to grow our own crops. So I don't know exactly what we'll do for that. If we could check fertility for certain things, there is a way to do that, but how much of a difference will it make in the desert, especially when a lot of these plants already exist? We'll have to see. Alright, everybody's awaiting treatment. Do we have anybody who's good at medical? Let's take a look at our group. Oh, simple priorities. No, yeah, we want this to be more advanced. That's a good one. Alright, let's take a look at everybody's skills. There should be a way to take a better look at everybody's... oh, and another thing, too, is the hot air balloon. Now, because we're in a new location, we'll be able to eventually launch expeditions that have a hot air balloon, and, well, just like we could before, but now there'll be probably new events and things of that nature that will occur from exploring those territories, and that will provide us with a lot more possible good weaponry or people to find. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, let's go back to everybody's skills here. We've got, let's see. Taking a look here at healing for 3 for Carter. Healing 2 for Daniel. I think we're going to put everybody on high healing. Everybody heal first. And then move on to your other tasks. So let's make sure everybody's taken care of. There we go. And then once Ken is healed up, then he should be able to assist others, so long as he has that skill. Now, another thing is, too, everybody has the capability of learning, so if somebody is bad at construction but attempts time and time again, they might waste materials at the start and not know what they're doing, but eventually when they learn, they'll be able to take those skills and apply them and help out everybody else who is skilled. So it's not a good idea just to leave everyone, well, you know, sometimes more hands doing the job, even if they're not capable, are important. Wow, would you look at that? All this healing being done. Excellent work, man. Oh, and he's leveled up. Daniel's now healing level 5. So Dr. Daniel over here getting all the medical equipment and stuff ready to go. Excellent work, man. All right, let's start with some manufacturing now. We can start with the workbench that we'll put outside. Or we could put under another station here. Oh, we got a heat wave incoming. Fun. How lovely. Let's build another workstation nearby. Maybe over here. And we'll throw a roof over that later on. What the hell was that? Did you see that? What was that? Alright, let's go for a shelter. Grab metal again. Oh, right. I forgot. There are creatures in this game that will eat the carcasses of other creatures and or will steal your stuff. Wow, it's like a pterodactyl. Look at that. So this guy's sneaking on over possibly to take off one of these carcasses. Or if you leave things laying around, they'll see it shiny and then take it with them. So sometimes that's a thing. Alright, we got a crafting bench and a chopping block. We'll go ahead and maybe put that outside. We can turn some things into firewood, which will be required to possibly heat certain things up to craft with, and then also to, well, to be able to cook with. Now, we can still wait a little while before we're able to cook. We have some time. Actually, we'll cut some sticks over here. Let's go ahead and cancel those orders. And we'll do things a little closer to the camp. And insufficient... oh, wait. Yeah, there's a few shelves that are not full, but we'll add some more things to a storage. Maybe we'll do a wardrobe for clothing and weapons. Let's try that. Oh, we could do a metal one. Let's do a metal one. And can we do that with the storage chest? Oh, we can do a metal storage chest as well. I was mistaken. Excellent. We can do wood and metal, which is great. Another great thing I love about this is we don't have to build... most buildings and structures and furniture can just be built out of pretty much any material. So metal, wood, and stone for most objects are usable. You can take anything that you got, which means that there'll probably eventually be a frozen world, which will probably have a ton of trees, but maybe not a lot of plants or something along those lines. So you'll have to make a lot of things out of wood and stone, but then how are you going to do your farming? You might need to eventually find plastics or something to make a greenhouse. Well, what do we have here? Oh, this little creature has a infection. Let's inspect that. Dinosaurs? Dino DNA. This is awesome. We got reptiles in the game now that are like dinosaurs. Yeah, look at their little scavengers. They come and eat too. Now, we could, of course, take this meat, but taking all that time to then store it and not really be able to cook it while we're doing other things isn't really an efficient use of our time. Right now, we just kind of want to just eat all the rations that we've got for a little while, and then randomly we'll kill something at some point. Synthetic textiles have unlocked. Excellent. Let's keep mining stone. Just a little bit. Oh, now he's got a severe infection. This guy could die, and we'll get raw red meat for it. I don't think the game takes into account dead animals dying of disease being a risk to those who might eat it at the moment, so we'll see. There's our heating stove and fireplace. We don't need that. But we could do some torches for nighttime. We'd even start with a dartboard, so people have something to relieve their stress. Let's do a couple of those. There we go. And we still got a lot of things to do, a lot of things being investigated to find out how we could use them, a lot of things being salvaged and brought back, and of course, research too. Some research is taking place, I believe. Or at least it should be. Who's our researcher again? Is it Daniel? Daniel has the intellect of 5. So that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and change Daniel's activities to be... Go ahead and slow down on the healing a little bit for him. We'll put everybody back to 3. And then let's go for research at probably his top priority. Now that a little bit of building is done, we can now unlock new recipes and try to build new things. That's going to be a good thing. So once we get the smelting unlocked, then we can start, oh, look at that. We can also make a scrap metal stove. Nice. And we, of course, need wood to be able to cook, so that's totally fine. But it's good. And we might be able to make some raw meat and cook that up, too, if something happens to die near us, like the bugs again. Die to death, right? All right, let's take a look at what we want to make from here. We could dry out all these things here. Raw meat, hides, and raw smoke leaf, but we will kind of leave that for now. Don't really need to put anything there. Not yet, anyway. Let's keep gathering sticks. Looks like there's wide leaf plant there. That might be the smoke leaf. Early access there. They want you to answer a little survey each time. Oh, I love the day transit. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's amazing. Day-night transition is amazing. Looks like Mars, if it were terraformed naturally. All right, let's see. Research is now taking place. 12 hours to research smelting. We'll be able to turn scrap metal into more reliable, refined iron. Or metal that's just a little bit more viable, which will unlock more recipes for us and more things we can make at the workbench. Right now, we're not really doing much other than gathering materials, so everyone can kind of keep working for a little bit. Really, all we can do now is make some bandages, so let's make it until we've got like 5 bandages. That'll be fine. Probably not a bad thing to have. And we'll have somebody make some meals, too. What quick recipes can we cook up? Cooked emergency rations? Let's go ahead and at least make 5 of those, too. There we go. Get somebody's cooking skills up, but not necessarily useful at the moment. Hey, we got liquid fuel that we salvaged. Excellent. Just douse that on the fire. That'll be fine. There you go. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, not necessarily important to cook the emergency rations, but it will kind of... It won't last as long, but it will boost their mood a little bit. It will spoil faster that way. But it's okay. Mostly we're trying to focus on getting cooking skills up. And even if everybody is in the camp at a low skill, and you have the high skill person not doing something, they can still learn and be the backup person. Because eventually we will have more people here, and 4 is just simply not enough to do things like farming or defense yet. We've kind of just got to hope and pray that nobody comes over to mess with us, and that we get the basics done. Like salvaging and bringing wood together and trying to store everything in the camp. Oh, would you look at that? Yep, storage is certainly full. Or at least filling up, I should say. We built lots of storage. Storage will be full if everything's brought over. Look at the fire effects, too. Very nice. Classy. Hey, now we've unlocked a cook stove that we can put inside and also a furnace. Probably want to keep the furnace outside. So let's put that maybe behind the... or in front of the little shack here. We'll go ahead and try to smelt iron as quickly as possible. Oh boy, we're gonna have to use sticks for fuel, but eventually we can use electricity for one of the smelters. We should be able to then take solar panels and connect that to a battery, and then connect the electric smelter or oven or whatnot to that and be able to use that too. So that'll be kind of cool. Alright, anything else we can make now? Extract animal fats. We'll be able to make some stuff from that. Good, we got people eating meals. Alright. Basic stuff is out of the way now. We can give orders, of course, to tell people to collect all. I usually just click on an area and just tell them to, like, gather the stuff one at a time. We got somebody observing there. Keep cutting. Good work. We got I think the chopping block recipe will make sticks. Yeah, so if we cut down a tree and need sticks, we can use the chopping block for that. So that's good too. Good idea to just build everything, just have the station ready if you need it. Not a bad time to do that. Any time's a good time to try to craft some of that stuff. Let's go ahead and put some light down in the camp. There we go. Nova's now physical level 5. Good. Everybody's doing hard work. Getting it done. Go gather more sticks. Very important. We're going to need that for fuel. We have 669 so far. That seems good and all, but it's going to go by real quickly. A plea for help. My name is Umer Bozeri. I believe we met on the ship. My escape pod crashed badly and everyone else died. I fed on my own as best as I could, but my rations ran out quickly and I started losing hope. I walked in the wild for days after seeing smoke from this direction. Please let me stay with you. Of course, welcome. And now we have our 5th survivor. So now, already our beds are obsolete. Well, let's go ahead and make refine 10 and 10 here if we can. There we go. And I think we can tell this to use fuel. There we go. Alright, and we need another bed, so... Gonna need to start building that right away. I think we can also move furniture in this game, which is pretty simple. Let's go ahead and start making some decent beds. We'll start with one nice one, then we'll get rid of the old ones tomorrow, and then we'll kind of continuously craft and move as we transition from garbage, sleep on the floor beds to actual somewhat decent beds. Alright, we got ourselves a new person in the camp, so... Oh, and he's already cutting down trees and stuff. Nice. What are his skills? Cooking 3 and intellect 6. We have another researcher. Excellent. He has an agoraphobia. He loves bread and relaxing in armchairs. That'll be what motivates him the most. Let's get him on the same schedule as everyone else, too. We'll go ahead and sleep. We'll try to get everybody up at the same time. So, we're going to have kind of a problem with Cave Dweller for a while until everybody's going to wake everybody up and they're going to roughly sleep until we've created room for everybody. Everybody gets like their own private room. So, it's going to take quite some time until we're up to the level to where everybody is kind of nicely housed. One thing that's nice to do is to build like a large home with like an eating area. Think of it almost like a summer camp, essentially. You could build like a large canteen and then multiple small homes, or you can build one large building where it's all interconnected with a corridor, have all the rooms connect to kind of like a kitchen area where everyone can eat. You come out of your room into the kitchen, and it's a little easier to keep things warm that way too. So it's kind of your choice, because one more thing you'll have to heat that way is the corridor. But there's many ways to build. No problem on that one. Alright, what's our new friend doing, by the way? We have not yet taken a look at what he's assigned to do. 3 across the board, though. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do anything, then. Whatever may need to be done. Alright, we researched ship deconstruction. Fantastic. Wow, research is going fast, man. Let's take a look at what other science we got going on. Looks like we got a low food supply for 2 days. We'll go out and look for some food, then. Let's slow down time. We've done some good construction now, but let's go ahead and research some new stuff. Wow, long distance travel already. Let's do emergency rations, which we can make ourselves. Oh, okay, we might be able to make more, or at least have them last. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can find something for food resource. I want to try to study all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and have our friend be a observer. He's going to have a top priority of observing, and so will Ken. We need to figure out more about the world around us so we can get food from that. So let's go ahead and go at speed 2, the sequel. We could also go hunting, but these creatures could be dangerous. We need to continue to observe them, though. Have we figured out what these trees are yet? Huge desert tree. Cactus is there. We want to research this plant. Succulent plant, but I'm not sure exactly what that means. I love all the research in the game, too. Like all the animals and insects, reptiles and rocks and flora and fauna of all types can be researched. Very robust with the amount of stuff you can do there. Very nice. Alright, let's build another non-crappy bed. And we'll upgrade to getting rid of these two and then try to build some more in those places. But since it's nighttime, they probably won't deconstruct until tomorrow. Never mind. Thank you, Nova, for doing that. There we go. Well, so we've got plenty of metal. Oh, right, because these beds are elevated, they won't be able to walk over each other to get to the other bed. In this case, I think that they can just kind of like put their feet between the spaces of the bed, but since they'll be elevated now, they have to kind of step over them a little more aggressively, so let's make another little shelter. Actually, we'll make it go this way. Try to give a little bit of privacy if we can. Best we can. Cancel that. Shelter. This way. Nice. Alright. So we'll move the new beds into this area and we'll keep trying to transition stuff. Now, if we're going to build a home, the best place to build will probably be honestly where we are right now. But it's going to be hard to build here when we're already building stuff here. So what might be best is to go over here and construct. Where also we want to think defensively. Where could the enemy or enemy creatures attack? There's lots of little rocks here, so it's going to impede their movement and give a lot of kind of like kill zones where we can narrow them down to funnel in one by one. So if we build a base here, we should be able to be protected on this western and southern sides. We'll just have to worry about the north, northeast, and then the southern side. And we could probably build like a gate down here and here and kind of ignore this area. There's lots of rocks here, so there's potential for us to have a lot of stone and some other materials, but we can start mining all that pretty much everywhere. Like, look at all the stone. It's incredibly plentiful. Incredibly plentiful. Lots of stuff. Alright, let's speed up time again since it is night. Nobody's really doing much other than sleeping or wandering around like in Nova's case. A little insomnia, I suppose. Actually, I destroyed their beds, so... yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. Well, let's make sure everybody's got a bed, though. So we've got 1, 2... let's go 3, 4, 5. I wonder if we could put 2 of these beds next to each other where somebody can get on the left side and the right side. We'll see. Also, another thing is eventually characters could start become romantically involved. They could date or become married, and then eventually they'll want to sleep with the other person in like the same room or in the same bed. So eventually giving people privacy based on their romantic motivations is really important, and will give you bonuses if you do it. Or slight debuffs. I've had characters where I've tried to move them into houses together. It takes a very long time, and then by the time you've gotten a room ready for them because you're dealing with other things like defenses and food, and, you know, maybe a romantic relationship while trying to survive on a desert planet. It's not a good thing to fire up at the moment. Maybe that could wait a bit. But once people start leaving the camp, then it's an important thing to consider. I love this. They've written descriptions for every type of like plant and creature in the game. So this is the oasis tree. Small leaves allow it to survive the harsh desert climate. It needs nutrient-rich soil, loam, or silt, which is usually found around oases. This is why I decided to name it the oasis tree. Planting of an oasis tree for wood. Oh, and now we can plant trees. Excellent. Now hold on a second. So now we can build a little bit of a farm. Ah, and it looks like there might be fertility. Oh, okay, so we can build these or plant these in these yellow areas. Fantastic. This is going to be really important. So this biome is going to be a lot of farming, but also kind of cool with the stone, like building stone structures and like castles and whatnot. Oh, and now we got to deal with a dust storm. Weather hazards are coming in. Previously, in the other world, we have to worry about lightning and then eventually snow and cold weather. Here it's going to be hot weather at 28°C, which is not, well, 29. Right? It's not great. It's not terrible. It's like 26 Rontgen, but for current situation, I think we would probably rather be a little warmer than cold. Looks like we got about a day of food supply too. We'll have to go doing some hunting. But hold on a second, we found a juicy leaf. It looks like we can harvest that, plant that, craft it, and distill it. Ah, we can make food out of it. Oh no, actually a healing balm and a sweet syrup, which Give me additive food. So it's almost like a sugar cane. That's kind of what I was expecting. But hold on, we're also looking at the rounded cactus. And we can go on a little bit of a hunt here for the thickness. Let's go ahead and have Ken come over and do a little hunting gathering. And let's get some meat going. Alright, we'll have Ken take care of that. Or Nova. Back to the activities board. So we want you guys to hunt. And harvest, too. Actually, is that the same thing? There's something else for bringing in animals. Oh, I think it's cutting? No. Mining, cooking, crafting, assembling, research, delivery. Collecting harvest from wild and domesticated plants. Maybe it's cutting? No, I already looked at that. Huh. Well, we'll go ahead and see what they can do. Oh, no. Oh, wow, what the hell? We killed its child, and now it's like, it's either grieving or I think it's eating its young. Oh, my God. That is interesting. Alright, then. Well, anyway, Carter reached level 2 by planting some trees over here. Oh, nice. Turned it into a big O farm. Alright, so maybe trees won't be as difficult as I thought. Juicy fruit there is going to have to wait for a little bit. Try to grow what we can around the oases. Hunting bloated insect, yeah. Nice. Butchering, that's what we want to do. Alright, so hopefully they come over quick and deal with some of that. Might be part of the cooking process. Crafting, tailoring, observing. There we go. We got Ken getting some of that meat ready. And we'll go ahead and start making some food. Well, more food. We got a little bit coming in whenever we salvage. We might be able to find some. Let's go ahead and add a new recipe to that. A meat soup. Make sure we've got like maybe 5 in storage too. Alright, and let's make the meat soup a little higher priority than the cooked rations. Alright, a few more beds to be made too. And more planting of trees going on. Excellent. Looks like it's taking a little bit of wood to do that. I guess they're putting sticks in the ground and then expecting them to grow. That makes sense. Splicing like that. I think that's what that's called. Cool. Alright, we're learning a lot of good stuff here. Let's grab those litter caps. See if we can get some more food and healing medicine. More research to be done. Let's do chemical cloth synthetics and also weapons. Yeah, disturb sleep from everyone else being noisy. We're trying to put everyone on the same sleep schedule. And hopefully to get them to make beds soon. Can we make these a higher priority? Let's make sure people are higher on the construction tier again. Activities, let's put everyone up to 2. Make sure construction's... Actually, let's make construction number 1. We won't be building stuff all the time, but when we are, it should be done right away. So if we decree that something should be built, everyone will build it, and then when it's done, they go off and do their secondary tasks. Alright, let's continue to salvage. Even though we've got full storage, we're about to use materials for some of our construction of the beds. We can make some more bandages. Let's make 10 now. And sticks, we have 1,500 and about 38 wood. So not bad. Not bad. Got the dartboards ready to go back here. Hopefully some people use that soon. Everybody having their morning meals. And getting to work. Disassembling the ship. Bringing back food. And going and observing more different types of resources and plants. There's an insane amount of new stuff here. A T-ball tree. That's crazy. We can now harvest and plant T-balls. The fruit themselves are bitterly sour, but we can boil that into a tea. Ah, that's what's on those trees. Kind of reminds me of the plant from Satisfactory that has those little, they almost look like pistachios. They're kind of like a tan color. And then they'll, of course, give you some health. That's cool. Love that. Alright, so limited farming around oases, new materials to build with, a new character to also mingle in with the others, and of course, the same stuff we've seen before, like, for example, the defenses and also the hot air balloon, but new events to encounter in the desert, and also, well, new things like, for example, sandstorms that can blow through and damage the base or hurt our people or cause bad health or low visibility, and also more creatures to attack the base, which look more dangerous than ever. Things like velociraptors and other types of reptiles that just seem dangerous and that you don't want anywhere near your base, especially when you build it out of a stone wall and try to hold the line. I'd love to make a full series on this one, and if you'd like one too, let's get well up over 1,000 likes. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button. Thank you very much, by the way, for subscribing and turning on the notification bell. That is completely free, by the way, so don't be afraid to do that. And thanks to all of you guys for subscribing and hanging out. Ah, new food for the barrel cactus. Excellent. All right, we'll be back with more of Stranded Alien Dawn sometime in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have an amazing afternoon, good evening, and a good night, folks. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.